All right, real quick.
Ooh.
Now that we're into 2019, how are your New Year's resolutions going? If they're going well, hey, that's fantastic. But if they're already starting to fade, you're not alone. According to some publications, about 80% of New Year's resolutions are forgotten by February. And each progressive failure to implement a lasting resolution can become a scar that may demotivate you from trying again the following year. If this rings true to you, we suggest trying instead to plant what Osmosis's co-founder and CEO, Shiv, calls a seed habit. The general idea is to pick one habit to focus on, and once it's firmly rooted in your daily life, add other habits on top of that. You can think of this as growing a tree from a single seed. Just like how a seed grows roots and a trunk that acts as a foundation for branches, a seed habit can be the foundation that branches off into other desired habits. For example, Shiv made a seed habit of lifting weights. Over the next few months, this habit then branched off into healthier eating habits to support his efforts in the gym, a habit of getting up consistently early in the morning to be more productive, a habit of listening to audiobooks while at the gym, and finally, a habit of meditation because of what he learned while listening to those audiobooks. Clearly, that one habit of sticking to a weightlifting routine has branched off to developing habits that have improved other areas of his personal and professional life as well. So, what are effective strategies for growing a seed habit? First, focus on only one habit at a time, no matter how motivated you are to work on other habits. Remember, you are limited by finite resources like time, willpower, and money, so it's better to focus and achieve one thing than it is to fail at two or more. Second, understand behavior change. One instructive model was developed by BJ Fogg. It describes behavior as a function of three variables: motivation, ability, and prompts. B equals MAP. You need a certain amount of motivation and ability for prompts to succeed in triggering a behavior. One insightful thing you can take from this model is that instead of focusing on motivation, which can be fickle, it's often useful to focus on improving ability. Improving ability can be something like sleeping in your workout clothes to make it easier to work out first thing in the morning. Third, focus more on the process than the outcome. Our attachments to the outcome is the source of much of our discontent. Even if we do achieve the desired outcome, the satisfaction from that achievement is fleeting as you think of the next goal you'd like to accomplish. Instead, it's better to focus on and find satisfaction in the process, which will be with you in the long term and will help you achieve other desired outcomes. Fourth, make your habit measurable. Many resolutions fail because they're too vague. For example, if you tell yourself that you're going to lose weight by eating healthier, you may be setting yourself up for failure, because what does eating healthier really mean? Instead, it's better to develop defined habits like tracking daily calorie consumption and maintaining a 20% deficit. Fifth, choose a specific milestone. While we do recommend to focus more on the process than the outcome, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have checkpoints in mind. Used correctly, these can be highly motivating and enable you to chip away at what may otherwise be an intimidating goal. For example, if that goal is to read 12 books in 6 months, that means you should have read 2 books by the end of the first month. And if you haven't, you may need to reassess your seed habit of carving out daily time to read. Sixth, build momentum early. New Year's resolutions allow you to procrastinate on your goals until the beginning of the year. That also puts a lot of pressure on getting the first week of January just right, and a lot of emphasis on your failure if the resolution doesn't stick. So why wait? Start a seed habit whenever you want. It's like ripping off a band-aid on 2 instead of waiting till 3. Seventh, find an accountability buddy. Related to the BJ Fogg model for behavior change, an accountability buddy, or better yet, a whole group, can provide you extra motivation since, you wouldn't want to let them down, would you? Eighth, pay for it. We tend to value and use things that we pay for more than we receive for free. So, if there's a specific membership, service, or app that will help you achieve your goal, it's actually worth paying for that aid simply because you're more likely to use it. Similarly, you can use so-called loss aversion techniques to motivate your behavior change. An example of this is maybe you try betting a friend $100 that you're going to finish a half marathon this year. And because you don't want to lose that money, you're more likely to follow through on that goal. Alright, as a quick recap. In order to successfully germinate, organic seeds require a combination of factors such as water, sunshine, nutrients, and persistence. Similarly, your seed habit may be more successful if you implement one or more of the strategies we discussed. Now, what are you waiting for? Get growing. Hey, thanks for watching. This video was adapted from the articles Ditch Your New Year's Resolutions, Instead Plant Your Seed Habit, and 8 Strategies for Cultivating Your Seed Habit that we recently published in Forbes. Links to those articles can be found in the description.